there, it's Amy from moonmindology.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like, send me a comment and check out my website moonmindology.com. So without further ado, let's jump into looking at the March transits for 2024. So between the 3rd and the 4th of March, the Sun, Mercury and Ketu are parallel. And this can create some problems with communication from leaders. And there can be a lot of communication in general, and there's an analysis. But there could be something that's missing information. There could also be a lack of recognition in some ways. And the leader could lose control, or there could be some kind of rebellion against authority due to a sense of injustice. So on the 3rd, Uranus in Aries is square Venus, and there's a lot of desire for control and personal freedom, and there could be a sudden change in relationships during this time as well. There could be some kind of emotional unavailability, and there could be an impact to the leader of Saudi Arabia as well, as he has his moon around this point. And of course, Erdogan, Turkey leader, he's got a couple of planets here as well that are being activated. And he's got a very active chart at the moment, so he could change his communications in some way. And, you know, there could be an impact to cultural ideals. So if you have planets around this area, just beware of sudden changes. On the 4th, Ketu in Virgo aspects Mars, and there can be some violent consequences to this, but there can also be some hidden anger as well. And there can be a real sense of dissatisfaction. And the only slight aspect that I see is to the leader of Greece, and her moon should be around this point. And, you know, this is a good time to practice physical meditations, such as yoga or a sport that you enjoy. Get out of your head, get your body moving. And, you know, this is a great remedy for this transit. Then between the 6th and the 8th, we've got Venus and Jupiter, and they're contra-parallel. So these two planets don't particularly get on, but it could create an air of, you know, the feel of peace. But it could also give a lot of power to people who are very rich as well. Then on the 8th, Neptune and Mercury are conjunct in Pisces. And there's a lot of problem with communications again, and, you know, there could be a feeling of second guessing ourselves during this time. There could be a lot of sensitivity as well. And the best thing that you can do is to find some spirituality. Olaf Scholz of Germany, and his Mars is in Pisces. So this could impact his authority, and there could be some incidents with police as well as people committing crimes. And there could be fires as well. Iran's leader has Mercury at this point, so there could be some problems with communication, especially as Mercury is debilitated here. On the 9th, Mars in Capricorn and Uranus is in Aries, and they are square to each other. And this is really interesting because there's a mutual aspect going on here, and this is full of male energy, and it also makes me think of hacking incidents as well. So this is very hot, and there could be electrical fires or a lot of aggression in general that comes from nowhere. Think of bursts of energy, you know, it's quite ruthless. So the ends justify the means kind of thing, and there can be accidents as well. The leaders' charts that are activated are Poland, Moldova and Croatia. Russia's leader also does have some activity going on, as his Jupiter is around this area, so there could be something happening here. Between the 13th and the 15th, Sun, Neptune, they are both at the same declination. So again, if these aspects of declination work, then we're looking at potentially a leader being confused or even suffering from some kind of toxicity. And a leader could retreat from the public, or there could be some kind of scandal in some way, shape or form around a world leader. 17th, Neptune and the Sun are conjunct in Pisces. And this is really potent, as these two planets not only conjunct, but they are parallel. And as I said before, we're looking at a lot of confusion and problems with leadership in general. So there's something maybe happening with Iran in March, as well as the leaders' planets being activated by a transit. So Georgia and Slovenia, they also have some activity as well. So there can be toxicity and scandal, you know, even go as far as pollution. The remedy here is not to assert your dominance, but to take time to properly express yourself through art is really, really good. So Neptune and the Sun, they're creative, and the Sun is all about expressing the self and, you know, with these beaming rays. And Neptune can obscure these rays with a fog and a mist, but it's still important to express your own sense of satisfaction. And, you know, as you won't be able to shine clearly as usual. So the 19th, Mercury is conjunct Rahu in Pisces, and there can be a real urgency to communicate, and you know there's links to social media and technology, and this is all about technological communication or even transport. So there can be obsessions in the result of that can result in compulsive behaviors or even irrational fears. Georgia and Kosovo are activated this time. So the best thing you can really do here is to respect your anxieties, but try to understand that whether they are verging on irrational or not. You know, don't leap before you look, and always check your situation over properly. There could also be an obsession with achievement that can be seen through technology during this time. And then Rahu, it's the head, and Mercury is the mind. So this can go wild during this time. So make sure you take the time to get out of your own head, but also there could be a lot of media extremes, if you like. So on the 21st, Venus and Saturn are conjunct in Aquarius, and I feel quite wary about this conjunction as it can be quite problematic at times. You know, it can have problems emotionally, and it depresses the sweetness of Venus. There is a reserved feeling, and a lot of things can be left unsaid, and it's incredibly hard working. So, you know, a lot is going on during this times to do with work, but there's also a lack of heart, compassion, culture, and appreciation. And there can be a fear of expressing feelings as well. So if we look at Serbia, Turkey, North Korea, and Italy, they are all caught up in this. So there can be some cultural issues as well as a downer on relationships. So this is a great time to commit to plans and see things through. And I'd say that that's a remedy for this transit. And as much as creativity can be stunted in some ways, using logic can, you know, be a really powerful creation tool during this time. So I think the March could get pretty lively, and we've got a lot going on this year, as I believe that there are things falling into place for, you know, the threat of aggression between leaders. And we may see a lot of finger pointing and anger going on. But, you know, all we can do as the people is use common sense to really refuse to support these maniacs in power. My partner came home the other day saying about the potential conscription of the UK, and, you know, I laughed at him and I said, well, how would that happen? You know, what happens if you refuse? And he said, well, the natural course would be prison time. And I said to him, you know, in the UK, our prisons just let out loads of terrorists because they're too full. I mean, just imagine if 70% of the population said, we're not being conscripted. I mean, governments can order people to, you know, bomb other countries, but they need lackeys to, you know, press the button and hold the ammo. But, you know, we have to ask, why are we carrying out such actions? The West, especially the US, has a terrible track record of starting fights over resources and money. And they're also really good at spinning lies and getting people to cheer for violence. And it's only in hindsight do we realise that there is a serious problem. And just look at Vietnam. But, you know, I keep saying this, but we really do have to do our research, especially before November, as I believe that there's going to be a lot of important elections. And it could be a little bit angry and violent as well. So the next few months will start heating up, and of course the governments are going to be launching their PR stunts to try and scare and intimidate or entice you to vote for them. So be prepared for scandal, brainwashing, and just question everything. So I hope you have a wonderful week and the world hasn't gone to hell in a handbasket. So just stay positive. I'll catch you next week. Thank you very much. Bye.